It is no lie at all to say that my stream on Christmas Day was a bit of a doozy. I did a lot of things on that stream. I went through some of the optimal rotations of characters, did some reacts, and came out with the take that Changli, in all honesty, was not a character that I enjoyed playing, and not a character that I would recommend to a lot of players, simply due to the fact that when it came to how she works, right, her effort to reward ratio in gameplay, it's not particularly high. And I saw a lot of videos, I saw a lot of different builds, I saw a lot of different claims that people were making about how she works. And the fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, even if you find her fun to play, even if you find her exciting, even if you find that her visuals are absolutely astounding, the fact that she literally loses clothing as you go through her rotation, all of that, when it comes to the balancing, when it comes to the design, when it comes to how she actually plays on the battlefield, that doesn't really matter. And what I was doing was I was looking at numbers. I was looking at performance. I was looking at effort in the button presses, effort in your rotations, effort in your team comps, and came to the conclusion that she doesn't really do that much damage. And you can always make the argument that, like, oh, she requires no field time. Oh, if you play her in quick swap, she's basically just like additional DPS. But the fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, if you're playing her in a way that gets you 40 to 45 second clears, and you're playing that sweaty, if you use that level of commitment and echo investment on any other character, you're going to do better. You're literally going to do better. You will have higher damage and higher performance on other teams that actually don't have her in. And that's because, ladies and gentlemen, her scaling, her stats, all of that combined, it's just not really that high. And a lot of that is because the main part of her power budget, right? A significant part of her power budget, her outro skill, it is not really used that often in the teams that she's getting those 40 to 45 second clears on. You're swapping so much that it isn't used for the whole 10 seconds. And she doesn't have a character on the roster currently that fully capitalizes on her fusion and resonance liberation buff. Most characters that she's paired with only use one part of it. And so what that means is that her teams can literally not be at the power level that they could be. And hopefully that's fixed in 2.0. Hopefully she becomes a lot better to play in 2.0. But in the present state of the game, I cannot recommend her as a pull. And so hopefully she's going to come out in a dual banner, right? Like how Yinlin reran with Zhang Liao, or how Carlotta is running with the rerun of Jeja. And you're getting the most synergistic characters on the roster coming out with new releases. And so hopefully we have a fusion, resonance liberation, focused damage dealer releasing in the next couple months in 2.0, and then Changli's going to rerun with them, and we can finally actually start making use of more of our roster and feeling more optimal with how we're performing. That's my disclaimer at the start. That's just my viewpoint on the character. Now let's get on with the meat of the discussion. My name has just been announced, or not really announced. My name has been mentioned on the Wuthering Waves subreddit, followed by the word hate. Following Saint's hate on Changli, hopefully what I described wasn't a hate for Changli, it was simply the realistic facts of the matter of her character. You could call it brutal honesty, not really hate. Do you think her damage is bad compared to other limited characters like he says? It's an objective fact. Because her power budget is allocated into an outro skill that gives a massive buff of 20 or 25% fusion damage and like a bunch of extra resonance liberation damage, that means that her on-field damage literally, if you're trying to keep the game balanced, can't be as high. And again, when her team comps don't have a resonance liberation focused fusion DPS to capitalize on it, you simply don't get a lot of strength out of the character. That is just an objective fact about the state of the game. Her best team is with Encore or Chisha. Well, that's the thing. Both of those characters don't really work that well in terms of maximizing her outro buff. Encore's only scaling with resonance liberation is her Forte Circuit explosion, and when you leave the field, you lose an outro skill. So it's like you basically have to use the full duration charge of her explosion on her Forte Circuit, the really heavily delayed one, to get the benefit of the resonance liberation piece of Changli's outro buff. So it doesn't really work. And Chisha has so much on-field time to actually gain her full buff, she has to stack up, that by the time she uses her liberation, it's like the buff is almost expiring. It is really easy to expire without getting her inherent's full attack buff. Her best team right now is with Zhang Liao, but Zhang Liao is an electro character, and he isn't benefiting from the fusion part of her buff. So truly, at this point in the game, it kind of seems like a little odd that she was released in 1.1 and then still doesn't really have the character that she fully buffs or can fully utilize yet. Or there isn't a character that can fully utilize her buffs. So Changli needs a fusion main DPS character. Yes, a fusion main DPS. She basically needs fusion Zhang Liao. That's the reason why. I say that her damage isn't as good because a lot of her power budget, again, ladies and gentlemen, is allocated into her outro buff, but there's not a character that fully utilizes it, and oftentimes it's wasted in a lot of the quick swap teams that she's in. I assume they're using this to back the video. Let's just see what's in it. All right, this is one of the hardest to watch. I wish I had epilepsy, so I would just stop watching this. What the fuck am I seeing? Holy shit. I'm getting a headache. I'm already getting a headache. This is actually unwatchable. I assume he's simply doing a damage comparison, right? In what universe is this? What is going on? Like, do we have the full team comps? Is he trying to show that Changli does more damage? This just doesn't happen. And it looks like there's only 2 people in each team. It looks like it's Shorekeeper. Wait, is this a... What rank does the Stellar Realm go up to? Does it go up to gold? Let me see if it goes up to gold, actually. So it's blue right now on all 3 screens. Okay, now it's... Okay, so we're using a purple Stellar Realm. This one's purple. This one's gold. And Shorekeeper's opening with her Liberation. I'm not gonna lie. This type of testing seems extremely disingenuous. First of all, it's like we have a 1 support team. We're going with a purple Stellar Realm, 1 outro skill. We're not actually getting the crit damage buff. Jiyan's doing 3.6k on each tick. I see why this post has 0 upvotes. I don't really care about the context currently. What I care about right now is, does my Jiyan do more than 3.6k on Scar? Because if he does, did they just sandbag the echoes and just give their Zhangli Yao and Jiyan shitty echoes? And then they're like, wow, look how much damage Zhangli does. I guess I gotta open with Liberation because that's what that fucking guy did. Oh, okay. This guy's just fucking trolling. He's just trolling. Yeah, this guy's just fucking trolling. Let me do the echo skill and just see. Yeah, okay. I'm like at 6.675 with a purple Stellar Realm. That's just bum-like behavior. Let's see the Zhangli Yao. Did he grief the Zhangli Yao build too? Let's see the Liberation damage, buddy. No wonder he made the video so hard to see. No wonder he made the video so fucking hard to see. We're focusing on the right side, ladies and gentlemen. You know what also the funny part is? I feel like his rotation is like slower too for every character other than Changli. Let's see the damage. 7,900 or 79,000. Okay, go fuck yourself. Go, whoever made this post, go fuck yourself. You're just trolling. Okay, let's look at the investment then. Okay, yes, this is the only built character on your account. You do realize what Jiyan's S1 does, right? It gives an extra stack of a resonance skill that I didn't use. I didn't even use the E. I was comparing the Liberation damage stakes, buddy. So we're just gonna compare when we have no ER. Literally 0 ER on a Liberation reliant character. Less attack, less critical rate, less critical damage. Changli Mains. What the fuck is wrong with you? Just, what is wrong with you? Did you guys, like, plan this out in the fucking Discord? And you're like, oh, ha, ha, we're gonna cook him with this one. Oh, he's going down after this. He's going down, down on a merry-go-round after this one. The crazy thing is that the echoes are good. Maybe instead of getting Changli's fucking S1, maybe instead of getting this, which is a clear damage increase, you just get Zhangli Yao's weapon or Jiyan's weapon. You're over here swinging around her Sig and a sequence node and then saying that she's better than like characters that are invested into like garbage. And then I had some chatters also saying that like this wasn't a damage increase. Guys, what kind of dog shit S1 would literally just be gain interruption resistance. You really think that would be like an S1 that's worth purchasing? Gain interruption resistance. What? Nobody's gonna buy that shit if it's just gain interruption resistance. It at least gives some of a damage increase. He prefaces the post by saying, sorry for my bad English. Buddy, sorry for your bad English, and also sorry for the bad fucking builds. How about that? And the bad comparison. Why don't you say sorry for those things first? Because after watching this video, that's the only thing I can think about. I don't give a shit about your English. I give a shit about whatever the fuck I just saw in the past 5 minutes. Thank God I didn't watch all of it. Here are some of my critiques after sharing that dog shit comparison. He tries comparing her with Zhang Liao or Jiyan while using a support that buffs exactly what they need. Example, Yinlin buffs Electro and Lib, Mortabi buffs a ton of heavy attack and attack percentage at C6. What S6? Both exactly what both characters need, while Changli doesn't even have a support like that for her if she would be used as a hyper carry, while comparing her damage to them and saying almost nobody plays the Sweat Changli quick swap. The guy clearly didn't see me use several unbuffed Zhang Liao ultimates, or liberations. The guy clearly did not see me use several unbuffed Zhang Liao ultimates for comparison, because I quite literally did in the video yesterday. And guess what? It does the damage of like 2 or 3 of her Forte circuits. Let's be real here. He tries comparing her Forte damage with Zhang Liao's 1 degree hit of liberation damage, while not even trying to get her DPS check or anything like that. While also using what I said on the first point, I did unbuffed ones. So what's the point? I did unbuffed ones and they're higher too. Now about my video uploaded right here in the post. Just a quick little test to see how they perform with only Shorekeeper in their teams. Yes, I know I played bad in all of them. Yes, and your builds are bad too. I'm not used to something other than Jiyan Mortafi Healer plus Changli plus Zhang Liao quick swap. Well, maybe you should stop playing that quick swap team because Zhang Liao is literally on fucking life support. How about that? Or Havoc Rover slash Dan Jin. You could even see me doing oopsies in the Changli one. I even almost died in the middle. Well, maybe if you didn't have her S1, you would have. The one I think I did play the worst is Zhang Liao. No, it's because you're using a fucking Hollow Mirage that's level 80 on him and like trying to do damage comparisons. It's just absolutely disingenuous. Almost all of them has somewhat the same time. Just shut up. Stop it. You're just fucking, that's just demonstrably a fucking lie. She's got her SIG. She's got her SIG in S1. You're just lying. Why'd you even put it in the video if you're just gonna lie? Just got super lucky in Changli Echoes and didn't level that much of Zhang Liao's basic attacks. You don't use Zhang Liao's basic attacks. So it's fine not to level them. You don't use the regular basic attacks. And I'm still trying to get standard weapon for him, I'm still trying to get the standard gauntlet, which will increase his damage. And according to this, Pioneer, in this Pioneer of Wuva damage comparisons, Zhang Liao and the standard gauntlet will increase his critical rate. Abyss Surges, the standard gauntlet. Changli Mains, are you this in love with the PNG? Are you just this in love with the character that you're just going to make things up about the fucking game and just lie in your posts to defend the character? That you're going to intentionally sandbag your builds, make them fucking awful, and then just say that they're all the same investment? Is this what we do to defend our PNG online when it's quite verifiably just bullshit from doing 1 minute of digging in the fucking game? Sorry for my video quality. Oh, your PC's not the problem. You are the fucking problem for this video's quality. And it's not even like the resolution that matters. It's like literally the entire video, the basis of it as a whole. I guess I am hating. It's just, I'm not hating on Changli. I'm hating on you and your video. Because this is like the most stupid thing I've ever, like this has to be one of the most stupid, not thought out comparisons I've ever seen. All because we can't handle that our PNG is ranked lower than other PNGs. We're just going to lie about the game. We're going to say that they're all the same amount of investment when they're clearly not. When one person has a fucking sequence node and their signature weapon, and the rest of the people are just like licking crumbs off the floor. And like we're saying that they're the same amount of investment. When Jiyan and the standard weapon is just so bad, it's unbelievable. There's no synergy at all. Oh my god. Sorry for video quality, my PC is bad. No, the PC is not the problem. It's your mind. Your mind that came up with the context of this video. Like the thought process, that's where the fucking problem is. Just like what is on the title, do you think her damage is that low compared to other limited DPS characters comparing As someone commented here, in case of your video, the current tower is promoting resonant skill damage and glacio, so just guess which character is gonna be based off those. Changli benefits from resonant skill damage. Well, it's also the fact that she has quite literally 3 times the investment of every other character in the comparison, so that's probably a bigger factor. So they should be pretty much equal. And my Changli is the best built character on my account. So yeah, she has minus damage than other DPS characters, and I never said she did, just that his methods of comparison is... His method of comparison is pretty bad. How much do you bet I banned this person in my chat? How much do you bet I banned this person in my chat yesterday? And then they got so mad.
They're like, oh, ha, I'm gonna show him. He's wrong. And I can prove it. He's wrong. I know he's wrong. Because he's wrong. I can prove it.
You're fucking kidding me, right? This is a fucking joke. This is actually a joke. It's pretty clear from this post that this guy has absolutely no fucking clue what he's talking about. He's using comparisons that are probably the most disingenuous in gacha gaming at this point. He's over here with an S1, R1 Changli, just going ahead comparing it to like characters that gotten the attention of like fucking the third stepchild in like an adopted family. And so we're just like, what's the point of making these comparisons while also not playing the characters well either in the comparisons? Just completely discredited right off the bat. There's really no point in like, I guess, reading his arguments further, but what I do want to see are the comments. I also want to see who's actually agreeing with him in the comments. Changli is okay, but you need to have 2 fully invested DPS, including her. True. Have good knowledge of mechanics and proper rotation. Also true. Good idea of how to use intro to generate Changli Forte stacks and know the exact timing of when to quickswap out of her E animation. True. Otherwise, she's a DPS loss in every circumstance. High effort gameplay. Also true. All of these just have clear speed comparable to using Jiyan with Mortifi. Or Jinhsi with Jeja and Yanwu. When they can do it with less investment and time spent learning. Based and true. Based and true. She's a good looking character, but her kit is a mistake. To release so early into the game's life cycle. I beat Overdrive Zone and Middle Tower 6 out of 6 with Changli Encore, so I first have experience of how bad this character is. Is for a newbie slash casual, which are the ones most likely to spend money on the game since they have a job slash life. Changli Mains. Do recognize this. The fact of the matter is, the only people that are like good at Changli are either content creators whose job is to be good at Changli or the unemployed. That is your community. Because nobody has time to learn how to play this fucking character. Okay? That's the fact of the matter. Nobody has time to learn how to play this fucking character when you could just put in a quarter, a fifth of the effort on anybody else and get better results. That's it. Okay? That's a fact. And so I see why so many of you are so mad. Because you don't have anything else to do. Would take Saint's opinions with a big grain of salt. Always be skeptical of the just trust me bro people. Only CC I trust wholeheartedly is the math fairy because I trust math. Great. You are I'm not gonna say it. Changli is a sub DPS, so if you compare her to actual DPS characters like Zhangli Yao and Camellia, of course Changli is going to come short. If you compare Changli to a limited sub DPS like Yinlin or Jeja, then Changli seems fine. Changli will become much better once her dedicated DPS character comes out. That much we can agree on. Personally, I think Saint has been hating on certain characters for personal reasons. I bet this guy is a Changli main. Like for Changli, Saint hates that character because she is the darling of one of Prydwen's... So now I hate Changli because I hate Prydwen, even though my latest video on Prydwen is me glazing them for the updates. Oh my god, these people are so stupid. Oh my god, my latest, I'll just pull it up. I have this video over here. Prydwen's update changes everything. And I just talk about how good it is. What do you guys mean? What are you saying? You're just theory crafting why I could possibly not like your character. You're literally theory crafting why I don't like the character instead of just listening to what I'm actually saying. Oh god. Oh man. How much you bet this guy got banned in my chat too? No content in Wuva again, so he has to rage. Nolly, I know for sure your sub is probably gifted, so I really don't care about banning you. It's perfectly fine to me. This is goofy. You are a Changli main, invading my channel, getting butthurt because I said your character has lower DPS than others. Is there a moment where he chills and plays the game? I quite literally was doing that. Unfortunately, you don't play Wuva. Why are you here then? And why do you spell it Wuva? What is your purpose in my channel then? Because I liked your content, but at the moment you only use rage bait. So me making content about the game that you don't understand because you don't play the game is now rage bait. You couldn't have an idea of what I'm even talking about in the first place. So how could you consider it rage bait when you have no idea what it could be because you don't play the game? And how could you have liked my content when it was all about Wuthering Waves? Does this seem like a genuine chatter, guys? Does this seem like a real chatter? Bro seems manufactured because you can't talk 10 minutes in a positive way over some of your viewers or the game you play. Are you just making things up at this point? I literally just had a 20-minute react to the Jinhsi skin. Are you on crack? Is the idea of just like, if I didn't see it happen, it didn't happen? Is that how your mind operates? Like, if I didn't see it, it never happened. Have you gotten a CT scan lately? I feel like those don't work on you because you might actually not have a brain. They might need to do like a different test for you. Like, they gotta get like special CT scan equipment that comes with like a microscope combo. Wait, I thought that I was originally the person that couldn't stop glazing the game. Wait, what? How did we do a 180 in like a week? Wait, how did we do it? Like a person that literally could not do anything but create positive content about the game? How did we do a 180 in like a week? I am genuinely confused. I'm like, my mind is actually blown. Now I'm somebody who just can't stop talking shit about the game. I am going to do us all a favor and simply ban this guy, because I believe our IQ is actively lowering with each message he sends. I viewed what he just wrote and I now feel dumber. So I'm just gonna ban him. He doesn't look like a dangerous guy, but he's a brainless guy. That's a Hoyo shill impersonating a Curl bot to shit on Saint because Tectone puts Saint in a good light. Maybe it's a little bit of astroturfing, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, let's give him a 1 week ban. We'll give him a 1 weeker and see if he comes back. Maybe he'll be reformed, or he'll come back even more deformed. Also, Saint likes to hate on Jinhsi because she's an easy character to play and because she is very popular. I like to hate on Jinhsi because she's fucking boring and her gameplay puts me to sleep. What do you mean? She has the most like automatic and scripted gameplay in the game. I legitimately get bored playing her. Is that wrong? Is that like a... Am I supposed to like that? Like I just sit there and just kind of like... I don't find that very fun or enjoyable 7 months into the game. Saint tries to put on an air of elitism, even though the characters he plays, Jiyan and Zhang Liao, are almost as easy as Jinhsi. That is just factually wrong. That is quite literally factually wrong. I am pretty sure that if you try to optimize the rotations of either of those characters, you would fall over flat on your face, Searing123. Send the video. In the words of Edwards, send the video, bro. Let me see you do double Qinglong text with a Gorilla Echo cancel. Let me see you use Zhang Liao on Void Thunder with a Tempest Mephis cancel with Yinlin. Obviously, Zhang Liao is a lot easier, and Qinglong cancel is probably the hardest hypercarry mechanic in the game. I don't think Changli deals more damage than any other DPS. Okay, so now you just gave up. Just that his methods of comparison is pretty wrong, implying that his are good. And we already saw what happened with his methods of comparison from Kiliwado. She is the most fun character in the game. That's not the part of the discussion. I don't pay attention because most of them are just farming views or have bad takes. Her doing less damage is not a bad take. It is a factual take. Changli is my favorite character. Changli Mains. Just bad take. Hopefully his take is bad, not mine. Because just saying bad take, especially when you talk about mine, I don't think that's true at all. Isn't the point of Changli a sub-DPS already enough? For me, she's the strongest sub-DPS in the game. She's quite literally not. I don't think she's that good as a sub-DPS because A, she doesn't have any off-field damage. You have to swap to her to deal damage. In my experience, she definitely does not have main DPS level of damage. She's really designed to be dual DPS. That I can confirm. She's pretty weak as a hypercarry. Agree. this OP, man. She's pretty much in every speedrun. No, she's not. Her big hits are not at the same level as the other main DPS, but her small hits are almost double. I guess we're not gonna know what small hits are. I don't know what the fuck a small hit is. What's a small hit? That guy have major skill issue, as we saw against the Inferno Rider hologram in the event, and Changli have a massive hand diff. Let me see you play Camellia into Inferno Rider 6, little bro. I'm not obsessed with numbers. I'm not good at comparing her to other units, and I'm not really interested. All I know is I drop 100k nukes and I kill everything in the overworld, which every other character does. Clueless people having clueless takes. She is close to 0 field time DPS, meaning if your main DPS has quick swappable ability, she's absolutely insane. Given she is hard to play, but her damage per time is spent on the field is simply not matched even by coordinated attackers. We're not even talking about the amount of effort, the time investment involved to learn the rotations and learn the team. We're just saying that she's just good right off the rip and not actually mention how absurdly ridiculous it is to even play her in a way where this could possibly be true. It's like as if Changli has different types of playstyles to truly make her shine compared to others. Calling it down, Changli is like Topaz. That's quite literally what I said at the start of the video, so I do think that's true, that she's gonna have a character that works a lot better with her. Does she take 3 times the effort for 5% less damage? Yes, but who cares? How can you say something like that and then just say who cares? Isn't this like in a gacha game where it's implied that people don't have a lot of time to play the game, right? Might be playing for only 10 minutes a day. We're gonna say, yeah, a character that does 3 times the effort and does 5% less damage than other teams. Who gives a fuck about that? This is the problem with Changli Mains. We're at the point where we're just gonna brush aside every single objective fact about the character and just counter with, who cares? She's fun. And it's like quite literally every casual player in the fucking game. Literally every casual player in the game is going to be like pulling Changli, pulling her signature, and they're gonna be like, why does this character fucking suck? Every single person in 1.1 that wasn't like dick deep in the meta pulled Changli, and they were just like, what the fuck is wrong with this character? Literally every casual. And when you're only able to access this character's usable potential, when you're sweating balls and spending 10 hours simply learning how to quick swap with her, otherwise you are at a massive DPS loss compared to every other character on the roster, yes, those are the people that care. There is a reason why a majority of the player base has benched her. Because, again, it's not fun for some people to take 3 times the effort and deal 5% less damage. And if you don't put in 3 times the effort, you deal like fucking 30-40% less damage. Majority is a stretch. I ran a poll. Nobody uses her on the 4th floors. Everyone just uses her for floors 1 to 3. She's like fucking Calcaro at this point for most people. Because they pulled her and they were just like, well, fuck. I feel like I got less value. I got less value on her compared to every other character that I pulled in the main DPS category. So many people have permanently benched her. Oh gods, he really is turning into Wuwa's Za-Jeff. What does that even mean, turning into Wuwa's Za-Jeff? I'm not over here stalking content creators like Tectone and theory crafting about their marriage, because that's weird. I don't do that. So no, I don't think I am like him. I agree that her damage is lower. Good. Changli is my favorite character by a mile, and she's absolutely right. I have S2R1, and there is no character really that can buff her. My Changli Yao is less impressively built, so they function better in comparison. But if I were to use Shorekeeper with him instead of having him with 3rd string Baizhi, and if I had actually pulled Yinlin instead of relying, I bet he'd outdo her as well. And yeah, I absolutely hate quick swapping. Guess what, guys? Just because you like playing in the most sweaty way possible just to deal the same damage as a hypercarry team, that doesn't mean that everybody else in the game likes doing that. And so, it's pretty clear, quick swappers and people who pay quick swap are in the minority. Let's be honest, right? In a game like this, that's a gacha game, tailored around casuals, quick swappers, you are in the minority. And if quick swapping is the only way for this character to fucking work, then the people that are agreeing with you and getting actual mileage out of this character are the minority. Because believe me when I say, if quick swappers were in the majority, nobody would be having problems with the tower. Everyone would be saying the tower's too fucking easy, but we have people bitching about it day after day, calling it an HP sponge. And when quick swap teams have the highest DPS in the game, if you guys were in the majority, then nobody would be having problems with the tower, objectively. And so, yes, Changli Mains, you are in the minority because everybody who's played the character that doesn't quick swap has benched her because she sucks balls outside of it. And that's just an objective fact about her kid. But he's fucking hooked. He's hooked after saying all of this. He's gonna pull until he has S6. Oh god. The Abobas have corrupted him. I agree with everything you said. What? I'm gonna be honest, this guy's a bit of a fucking weirdo. This is when his comments start in that thread. They keep going. It's still going. My finger's getting tired. My finger actually, my index finger actually hurts. This is who is representing you, Changli Mains. Get a fucking grip, please. This is ridiculous. This is absurd. This is so weird. This is so cringe. But now that I think of it, the people that are just quick swapping all day and not playing any other comp, it can't be very surprising. We clearly have a lot of time on our hands here, and we have a lot of time to learn all the mechanics of Changli and all the swap windows. Clearly, we have a lot of fucking time. Since we're spending this long replying to a single thread that currently is at -1 upvotes. Go get a job. Take your own advice. Go work here. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Are Changli Mains absolute freaks, or are they, rather normal people? To me, I'm kind of like leaning towards the latter end. Hopefully, like, we can get some more normal players representing their community, because what in the fuck was this? Honestly. All right, guys. Peace out. See y'all later. Don't become a Changli main, or you're gonna turn out like this.